Welcome into Wifery Garden. I'm Marjorie, and I have some beautiful ladies with me today. We have Miss Shay. We haven't seen her in a minute, so y'all welcome her. We got my baby Tran and my niece Jakara on fire, and Tia. She got other stuff going on, so we gonna miss her this week, but we hopefully get to see her the next one. Welcome. Thanks for watching. I'm figuring out my audio, so in the meantime, if you haven't liked, hit the like button and share this content because we're gonna be talking about some on fire stuff. So welcome to Wifery Garden. Okay. Well, how are you ladies doing this beautiful Sunday?
Doing all right. Can't complain.
Well rested.
I'm good.
How you doing, mommy?
Good. Good. I'm glad I tried to figure out this stuff right now because of course there's gonna be something. Let's see if we can hear it if I share this. Okay. I have some relevant clips to the topic of the day. Absent parents, and really not even so much absent parents as parents out of the home, which we know that's a problem as well. So we're going to discuss some of that. But I'm more thinking about parents home, but emotionally unavailable. Just because you're home, you're available to your children. So I see a lot of that. Parents available home, but not emotionally available. And I've seen so much stuff about how emotional neglect. I'm thinking really about spiritual neglect. I think that's probably one of the most common that you don't really hear about because you see a lot of parents is they providing everything, material things and all the things, but the children are not being trained up in the Lord. They're not being encouraged in the Lord. They don't know how to read the Bible. They don't have no personal relationship with the Lord. And I think that's probably the most detrimental kind of neglect.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see if I can get this clip playing. Let me see. Come on, present. Hear this. Audio is on. This. Do this one. All right. Let's see it. Tell me about me. Can you hear it?
No. No.
No.
You can't hear it. There's one person watching. I wonder if they can hear it. Well, we'll just read the words, I guess, and I'll just give a quick rundown of what's happening. Yeah, he's slapping a grown lion, and it's showing when the lion was a baby. That's how he trained him up. So the lion is afraid of the slipper because he trained him up with the slipper. See, so that's how he trained the lions with his slipper, popping them and stuff. Look at slapping that. Look at that. Could you imagine training up lions
With the chancla, it's
with
universal.
a chancla? Uh huh. They just survive in the wild. He couldn't bear to let them die out there, so he raised up all these lions, training them up with the chancleta. Just showing, and that's why I said train a lion in the way. I'm like, if we could train lions, we could train children, and that's what it showed me. These big vicious creatures. It's no reason children shouldn't be trained up the same way. If he's slapping a lion with a flip flop, training them up. I remember one of my homegirls. That's how her dad trained their dog, big old Rottweiler. But from when he was a puppy, he was trained up not to cross. I mean, this dog was at least 120 pounds, but he was afraid of the plastic barrier so the dog wouldn't cross the barrier. And I'm like, how did you get that big dog to not move the fence? Because he could very easily rush it, right? It wasn't like it was a metal fence, it was a plastic baby guard. And he said he trained him to he was afraid of it because he would hit him with it when he was a baby. So that 130 pound Rottweiler wouldn't cross this barrier.
Yeah.
Because he was trained up with it as a puppy. But what are y'all's thoughts about that?
I think they're smart.
Yeah.
Especially them big old things. I started off when they babies. If you don't do it when they babies, then like he says, the same thing. It could be relatively the same thing as kids.
Yeah.
You let them slap you around when they're kids, they're gonna slap you around when they get older.
Yes.
And other people outside of the family.
And other kids, and just next you know they're in jail or dead.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. I love that it's so simple. I was gonna send it to myself. It doesn't seem like it's making a difference. So I'm just gonna share the next clip. Yeah, I love that because it's so relevant in this parenting topic we're discussing. Parents not training up their children, but Trent sent me this other clip that I wanted to share. If I could get my stuff together. And this is what people were saying about this couple, but let's see, share this tab. This is what people are saying about this couple. We'll read the comments, but good Lord, come on now. I don't believe in being too young to marry. Okay, so legally, as long as you're of legal age, I think is most important. That you're legally able to make decisions for yourself. So we're gonna watch this young couple. I guess it don't matter if the sound is on because I don't want to get copyrighted anyway. So let's watch them. This young man at the prime.
Well, this is prom, what they're around 18, 17, 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear anything?
No.
No, so I'll turn the audio off. So while they're showing, I'm gonna read some of these comments. So this says the family says the daughter's boyfriend asked to marry her before prom. What's your reaction? Follow for daily marriage and courtship. Okay, it says the fiance's father, family chicken and waffles, wrote, I am a proud father. Devontae is 19, graduated 2024, has 2 jobs, makes over 40K, drives a 2025 new car. Nivea, my daughter, a senior, is 18, drives and owns a Range Rover Velar, passed Pennsylvania cosmetology exam, and is heir to the family restaurant.
He said, I'm just confused at what the cars have to do with anything, but I think with him having a car, I guess, but I guess he's showing, I guess they both are.
But they're established, right? They have vehicles. They're, she ain't driving his car, he ain't driving her car, and I done seen folks in their 30s with this problem. Okay.
Yeah. Sure. No, but I get where people may feel some type of way about it because they're like, oh, you haven't really lived yet, too young, this, that, and the third. But I think if you're mature and you kind of got your life in order, there are some people who are young who kind of got it and have an understanding of what life is. They could be ready for marriage, especially if they had good examples from their own parents and family members, things like that. So I don't find an issue yet as long as they're of legal age. So yeah, 18 and over, of course. But I think it's all about the maturity level. Now, if I had a kid and they were 18 and I found that they're not mature, I'd be like, you are definitely not ready for marriage. Just don't do it. You're not ready for that. You're not ready for that world. But if you're mature enough, you have an understanding of what marriage really means. You're in your word as well in the Bible and understanding what marriage means and having God-centered. I don't see a problem with it.
I agree. Jay said some people get married at 13. Oh yeah. How is it legal? How if legally they can't give consent? Yeah, if legally children can't give consent unless they're 18. I was just telling Roger, um, child marriage in Colorado just became illegal a few years ago.
I thought it just became legal. I was like, wow. we're
No,
going back.
it just became illegal. It's been legal for decades, if not centuries or so, but it just became illegal maybe less than 5 years ago
I didn't know
Wow.
that.
in Colorado. Yes.
I'm like,
I
and her
didn't know
dad
that.
approves of it. I think that's even dope. I think that's even more dope. Her dad sees, if especially if your dad, like, come on, like, mom is different, but if your dad is seeing that a man is okay with, for you, I think that, girl, you better. Yeah. And, of course, people think, you're going to read some of the comments, but it's like, of course, people think they're too young, but mainly, when they want them, they haven't lived life, they're talking about they haven't had sex. They
Yeah.
haven't had sex and explored the drinking and the partying.
Yes.
So that's really what they really be meaning, as if you can't, learn to grow with the person and all those things. And I personally believe that most, not all, but I think that especially Black men are more likely to stay alive and to become more established when they do get married younger.
Hmm.
I agree.
I've seen it and witnessed it, and yeah, but by the time those men turn 35, 40, they're millionaires, and they don't have to worry about trying to find a woman who's not using them for money, because they found their wives when they was in middle school, high school.
Mhm.
All those things. So I think that's smart. If you're doing it and God's not telling you to do it, then of course you're gonna, but if God is telling you to do that, then you do that thing.
Mhm.
And I want to chime in on that because I like the fact that you said that, usually men who are gotten older and became more established, more money, they'd have to kind of go through a sea of women who are not trying to use them. It is better to come up with a woman rather than already have come up and then trying to find one.
Right.
Because I think it becomes a needle in a haystack when trying to find a woman later in life. And that's kind of the stigma that's being pushed nowadays. A lot of men are telling other men, yeah, get your money up, get your bread up, and you can have so many options in women. And it's like, do you really want a whole lot of options in women? Because you're going to have to go through a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Since you said that, we're going to read some of the comments. Go ahead, Hira.
I'm just like, at least they want to get married. At least marriage is on their mind. Because honestly, the dating pool in 2025 is not that appetizing anyway.
Mhm.
So if you're blessed enough to find someone that at a young age, whatever age you are, if you're young enough and you find someone that you genuinely see yourself being with for the rest of your life, I say go for it, because it's not very many appetizing people out here, if I'm being honest. Like, it's disgusting to me. But I'm like, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter. Like, if marriage is on your mind. I saw best friends comment about gender reveals. A lot of my friends that I've had are either pregnant or just had a baby or baby on the way or whatever the case is. And they don't have a very negative things to say about that, because like I said, people really genuinely believe that marriage is a bigger commitment than having a child, which is insane. A child is something you can't get out of, unless you do some evil, unexpected things. But normal people can't get out of having children. And it's like, people think, oh, you're just around that person until you're 18. No. Because if your child gets married and your child's graduating college and your child has different things going on, they're going to want to have both of their parents there. So you're with that person for the rest of your life. Marriage, you're not supposed to get out of it. That's not how you should go into it. But it's less of a commitment than having a child, in my opinion. I mean, that's what I think. But
I mean, you can undo a marriage. You can't undo a baby.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you could in a way.
Unless
you could in a way, but that's even worse. All the consequences you got to experience with that. But
exactly.
Absolutely. So my comment is we've been married 18 years since we were 19 and 20 years old. As long as they put the Lord first, get premarital counseling, they can absolutely make it. Keep the jealous hearted folks far away. We should be so done with baby mama, baby daddy culture. They can be married and attend college. It will protect them from all the temptation and toxic culture in colleges.
Mm-hmm.
What I believe. Trent said it wouldn't be a problem if she was pregnant doing a gender reveal. I love this and pray that they live and grow together in peace. Because that's what it is.
Yeah.
Somebody under her said, y'all will raise y'all grandchildren, throw a baby shower, and show the baby off, but a marriage is a nope.
Seriously.
It was more people like, oh, no way. It says, y'all quick to say they too young for marriage, but stay quiet when young people have sex or baby showers. Why the outrage when people want to do things the right way? And a lot of this is a black man said, yeah, nope. Try it again in 5 to 8 years, bro. Live your life first and go to school. Not my daughter. Nope, not my daughter, but so amazing for others. Why does it matter what car they drive? That's what Trent said. Assuming he already received the father's blessing, where's the problem? They're too young, have a whole lot of life lessons, experiences ahead of them. And that's my mind too. Folks saying, oh, experience life. What folks are saying, sleep around, have a couple of abortions and find out, then see if you want to settle that.
Drink and go to the club. Like, people think that living life is not having a family, like having stability, where you have a family, you have your own house, you have your own car, you're doing good in life. That's not life to people. Life is go to the strip club, become a stripper if you want, sleep around, drink as much as you can, mess up your livers. Like, it's really people don't think that life is meant to be where you're with one person and you can enjoy life with one person. That's also enjoying your life and living your life with one person. There's nothing wrong with that.
No. It's like do a lot of bad before you actually become a good person.
Yeah. Be a bad person first, and then you can come back in 5-6 years if you make it, if you're alive. Then come back and try to do it again.
Right.
Just don't die. Don't die out there.
Just
ridiculous.
Exactly.
Go crazy, survive if you can, then decide that you want to live right. Yeah.
If you survive out here, then you'll know you're ready for marriage. Then you'll know. But you gotta survive out here first. You gotta be as miserable as we are. And then you can go off.
Like, why would you want that for someone? Why would you want someone to have lived those life lessons by themselves, go through all of that? Like, why would you want that for someone?
Jealousy.
That's
jealousy and envy.
And then we wonder why we be seeing, if black men do get married, young, they're marrying white women out of college and things of that nature. And and then once again we wonder why every 1 in 4 black women get married and all these things, and then we see all the white women, they all got rings and get married as soon as they graduate, and it's like because we're I guess in the black community it's you're too young, you're not too young to have sex, you're not too young to have a baby. But marriage is way too young. Like, Lord have mercy.
Lord, that's sad and crazy. What a man said, if any of my children get married straight out of graduation, I would have to speak my piece so they can't say nobody warned them. Still let them know, let them know how the there's gonna be rough. Still let them know that that's life. It's like you're gonna be warning your kids in every area of their lives, not just marriage, but let them know it's gonna be hard. And but we need more programs that support this, that support young people getting married. That's why I want to do premarital counseling for you young people when y'all do start to get married, like to support y'all in that process from the beginning.
What I think about that is just choosing your hard, like choosing your difficult, because marriage is difficult. Running around in these streets is also difficult. People don't want to admit that. But I know a lot of people probably go to sleep at night with demons all in their corners thinking about how many people they slept with. Like, you just got to pick your difficult, because marriage, no doubt about it, it's difficult. But sleeping around and possibly getting beat on, having kids, a bunch of baby daddies, that sounds hard too.
That sounds even harder.
Right. So it's like, you got to pick which one you want.
Yeah, pick your struggle.
Real. Be careful, for real.
Did you finish saying what you wanted to say, Shay?
Oh, yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I was kind of chiming in on.
No, it's okay. It's kind of going in and out, so I'm not sure if I'm hearing everybody right on time.
Mm.
'Cause
And
I
not
feel
just,
like a lag. Okay, go ahead.
but I was just saying, like, also, I wish that there were more, like you said, the support in the beginning and also after the honeymoon, because it's
Yeah.
like, you know, I was telling you, like, we as women are groomed, especially in America, we're groomed and we're trained to want to get married, meaning the
Yeah.
ring and the wedding and the honeymoon, but there's no guidance, there's no mentorship, there's no all this stuff after the
Yeah.
honeymoon,
Yeah.
like the journey through that. It's like, okay, you guys did the, you did the premarital counseling, whatever. It's like, yeah, some people still do marriage counseling or whatever, but it's almost like people let the couple go
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
the ring and the wedding. And it's like, if we
Sure.
just had more training on how to be married,
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be
Mm-hmm.
a lot easier. So it's like, yeah, you tell them they're too young. Okay, they get married, help them. Help them, give them guidance. Don't just,
Yeah.
oh well, you're too young and you got married too young, and so you're just gonna have to deal with X, Y, and Z. Like, help them. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. You know, people
I-
would rather hate than help. They
Yeah.
don't want to help people. They
yes.
rather hate
So
on
true.
them.
I also think too it's based off of who you're talking to too, because there's some people who don't have any experience with a marriage or even a long-term relationship. It's easy to say, wait because you don't know yourself.
Yeah.
Whereas, somebody who's older, somebody who's been married at least 10 years plus to tell you what it is, like you have to get that advice from someone who actually knows what they're saying, has actually experienced it. And unfortunately, in the Black community, we don't have a lot of that.
Sure.
It's become a rarity to even see Black folk
Mm-hmm.
be married for a long period of time. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people have gotten divorced early, or the baby mama, baby daddy situation, and have not actually lived a real experience being in a long-term relationship, getting to know the different, seasons of a person.
Right. Right.
Because we all change. Like we all do. Like one year we might be one person, 2-3 years later we might be a totally different person.
Yes.
Different mindset, things like that, and you have to work
Yes.
through that too.
Yes.
Not a lot of people have been able to actually experience that. So it's about who you're talking to as well. This is where
Mm-hmm.
you getting that advice from.
Absolutely. Like you said, the seasons of people is so true. Like you said that. So what a man said, if they're willing to accept the trials and tribulations of not even knowing themselves yet, blessings to you. Oh yeah, because it's gonna
All
be
right.
like and I look at it like this. No matter how well you know yourself as a single person, when you get married, that person is going to expose things in you did not know existed. So regardless of, you're going to be the person, who you are right now is going to have to die anyway when you get married. That person is going to be non-existent. So that's a reality. I think a lot of a lot of single women are afraid of this fact, why why it's like, hard to get married, because it's like, oh, I'm not going to be this person anymore. Yeah, you'll still be you, but where you've been able to think about yourself for so long, now when you get married, you'll have to think about the other person.
Yeah.
Now your priority becomes meeting the other person's needs. But according to what thus says the Lord, first of all, but that's what marriage is, prioritizing each other. As long as that person is in prioritizing you, you should be prioritizing them, and that's how we both get our needs met. So we're gonna listen to some of this interview with Candace Owens. Hopefully the audio is playing, but she talks about this very thing.
Candy O.
Owens, I love her. I don't agree with everything. I don't agree with everything she says. No, I don't think it's realistic to feel like you have to agree with everything someone says. We're not going to agree on every facet of life, and that's okay. But in this interview, she's talking to these young women, and just as you all described, mentioned some things about um women encouraging HO3 HO3 304 HO4 something 304 lifestyle. she's talking to these young women, and this is what this is a lot of their professions. So we're gonna watch some of these clips.
That girl in the middle
Yeah.
don't look real to me.
Yeah,
She looked like a little robot or something.
yeah. Well, she got a lot of makeup on.
I guess. She's cute.
She is cute. Hit the like button, you all, if you have not done that yet. Hit the like button. I gotta get my stuff up. Okay, we're gonna watch some of this, and then we're gonna talk about it. It's a 20-minute video, so we're gonna watch it in spurts, and then we're gonna discuss it. I gotta make sure y'all get some audio. Can you hear it?
No.
Gotta play it.
Have you started it yet? Oh, it's loading.
It's slow. Well, my stuff on the iPad.
No.
Y'all hear?
No.
Mm-mm.
I don't hear anything.
No.
Damn it. All right, devil, get off my stuff. Get off my stuff, the name of Jesus. Okay, we're gonna start. Let me try this again. This because it's too good. We talk. This is just too good of a topic.
Yeah, I want to see this.
Cause she on Fresh and Fit too. I think I've seen this one.
Yeah, I haven't watched this one yet. Somebody sent it to me. Let's see. Did y'all hear anything?
Mm-mm.
No, I don't hear anything.
Good gravy. Let's see. My goodness. Let me try a different screen. Let's try this. Jesus.
Is it turned on like everywhere? Like on all your stuff or?
I had it on a separate screen. But let me try it on this screen.
What about internal, like the actual monitor itself?
Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Hear it now, no?
For me, it's not playing yet.
Same.
Okay, now it's playing. There's no
Everything
sound.
was like lagging. Good Lord. Jesus. I still want to do this today. That mean it's a powerful topic that the devil mad. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Let's try this. How about now? No.
Mm-mm.
It's like delayed.
Everything is kind of
lag a little
lagging.
bit for me.
Shoot.
I don't know.
All right, let's try. Maybe. Okay, let me try this. Oh, Lord have mercy.
It is all right.
Let's
We don't
try.
get to it.
We gonna get it. We gonna get it.
Mm-hmm. In the meantime, I'll
Is
say
everybody
I
hear the
like Candace
commercial?
Owens. I don't agree with her. She's cool. No.
No.
No, I don't see it. You said
Yeah.
commercial?
Yeah, there was like a.
Okay, it's on the video. It's lagging.
But you hear it?
No, it's like lagging, but like you don't. It's like buffering or whatever. It's loading, but it's not.
Holy hell.
There's no sound on it.
All right. Well, okay. I'm gonna do something different. But we're gonna watch that one. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get it. But yeah, the situation with the young people. I encourage people to more prioritize folks get married, even if it is out of high school, whatever. Like, as long as they're marriage minded, God can work with them. God can, and that's what I want to do. Encourage young people, young, to get married. If you can get married young, to do so, but not. But it's like a catch-22. It's like you want to get married young, but you don't want to rush into it, right? You want it to be the voice of the Lord,
Yeah.
wisdom of the Lord, the guidance of the Lord that tell you this is your person, this is what and who He has for you, and being obedient.
Yeah, facts.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought I was coming. Thought I was coming. Yeah, I was my middle school, high school. No, really middle school or whatever. I was like, oh, thank God that did not happen. I would have been so angry, so irritated. Like, thank the Lord I had people in my life to, to help out and stuff. Because if I would have married that guy, I would have been angry. I would have been a very angry wife because it's been like, oh Lord, I married like a toddler. It's like, oh, thank God. But he clearly looks mature. Like even Pops, if Pops is seeing that he's mature, it's like, in that video, if Pops is seeing he's mature, then come on now. But the guy that I was dating when I was 18, 19, like, oh, I even had a dream that he was in diapers. I'm just serious. I had a dream that, he was kind of like a man, and then he started walking and he like turned into a baby with diapers on. I'm so serious. That was the day before I broke up with him. I was like, oh Lord, no, I can't do that. Have a baby and a man baby. The joyful Trinity would not be here today.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The devil was trying to get my baby. Yeah, the devil was trying to get her in a trap. The devil was trying. What a man said, I had marriage counseling. What stuck with me, especially when it got worse, was focus on yourself and what you can control. Changed everything. Amen. That's the gold nugget right
awesome.
there.
Because I would think that being in a relationship, it gets to a point where it's like you're gonna see things that you don't like about your partner. Then that's just a given.
Yeah.
And it's like, dang, I don't want you to act like that. And we think, not we, but some people may think that, if you want to be with me, you got to be the one to change. The thing is, and I agree with what he said, like, you can't control other people. You can only control what you do and how you react to it. So you let a person be them, but try to work around that, whatever issue they got going on, or at least talk to your partner about it. Be like, I really don't like that you do this. It's either annoying or it's getting on nerves. Like, you have to be able to be open and have those discussions with, who you're with.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree. You can control the person, can't really control how they act, but you can at least talk about it and then deal with it your own way.
Yeah. Yeah, because God gonna tell you how to do your person. He gonna tell you how to do his kids. Like, Lord, these your kids. Tell me how to deal with your son. Tell me how to deal with your daughter. Yeah, here's something now.
I don't think you should play it first. It's loading.
It's not playing on my end. Looks like it's loading.
Are we getting audio?
No, I can't hear. No audio.
Okay, but play it
this today.
Like, play it for a second.
So, can you elaborate? Yes, I don't agree with putting a man first, because when he leave you, then what you gonna have? What you gonna have? If you put your all into a man will leave you with shit and bricks. Can I say shit? I'm sorry.
No, you good.
A man will leave.
All right, let's go.
I actually wanted to cut her because you kind of gave a little face when she said like she puts her man first.
Yes,
I
don't agree with that.
You don't agree that you made a face?
No, I don't agree with putting.
You don't agree with putting a man first. Okay, so can you elaborate?
Yes, I don't agree with putting a man first, because when he leave you, then what? What you gonna have? What you gonna have? If you put your all into a man will leave you with shit and bricks. Can I say shit? I'm sorry.
No, you good.
A man will leave you with nothing but shit and a bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have your own everything. So why would I put a man first?
Sorry, when you say sorry, I'm so not cool. When you say shit,
you say shit and a bag?
Yeah.
Could you just slow that down for me? I promise you, I'm like, I am so not hip.
When I mean shit in the bag, I mean like your stuff in the bag and you on your way. And he already got the next girl in the house. Like I don't play those type of games.
Okay, so you guys are specifically talking about, so you're assuming people just don't get married because obviously the court systems favor women. Actually, women will get everything if a guy gets up and leaves.
Saying, okay,
so I heard somebody else say like, oh, like the house and blah, blah, and then you'll have nothing. I'm like, actually, in the current environment of what happens to men in courtrooms, you'd have pretty much everything.
But the man got to want to marry you. These men ain't getting married.
So that's it. You're talking about, so you're basically saying like you could potentially be with a person that doesn't want to marry you, but you should just never be with a person that doesn't want to marry you, was what I would say. Like if you're talking to a guy and he never wants to marry you, then that's a really...
That's why I ended my last relationship. I felt like we were together for too long. And I asked him like, hey, do you foresee us getting married? Do you see us continuing on? And he was like, no. Straight up. No, but it's okay. I'd rather he was be honest.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
At least he told you.
Like, no, for real. Not even take no hurt by it. And I was just like, okay, baby.
Baby, I love you.
At least he told her. That's most men won't do that.
Yeah, most men will lie and just sit there and have you wait all this time and then
like,
be with somebody else.
Time. Yeah. Like, give me time, or I just got to get my finances right. And then 5 more years, still trying to get my finances right. So at least he told her. She was appreciative of that.
Yeah, I'm like, I've always seen like, I've always been more respectful of a person that can just tell me the truth. That way you just stop wasting your time. Because people make up these lies and they drag it all out. And it's like, if you just be honest with me from the get, then I can make my decision if I want to continue. Because she could have been like, yeah, okay, then we just won't get married. I still agree with you. Or she could be like, no, that's not going to work for me. I want to move on with my life. But like they said, a lot of people were just not honest. And they just like to waste people's time.
Yeah.
No, just be real. Because if you think it's going to hurt my feelings, I'm just going to have more respect for you. Like, thank you, Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to waste 5 extra years of my life questioning stuff. I can just get to stepping right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you can tell her what she thinks of putting a man first is wrong. Because with her saying, oh, he will leave you with, your bag and whatever. How can he leave you with shit and bricks if you're not living with him and you do have your own stuff? Like you can still put your relationship, or you put the Lord first. But when your relationship and you're prioritizing, your relationship and stuff. I think that is still very much possible with you not having to live with the person. Like that shouldn't even be, in my eyes, that wouldn't be a fear. Cause I'm like, I'm not living with you. We're not married. So if you want to leave me, you can't, there is no, you kick me out. There is no, like, if that's one thing that I could say that I have stood on, is never allowing a man to live with me or never living with a man. Like, I don't even have men joke about it. Like, oh, I can stay with you. And they be hurt. Like, damn, for real? I'm serious.
Yeah.
I am absolutely serious. That is not happening. So it's like, if he can't leave you with nothing if you're not living with him. Why would you live with him and he's not your husband? Like, I would say, like, I'm not living with you if you're not my husband, or if I can look on a calendar and see the exact date when we're getting married.
Right.
Then we could talk about possibly moving in together, because we're about to get married. But as far as oh, we still getting to know each other, we still trying to see if we want to get married. Why would I live with you? Or why would any man that's willing to move in with a woman is not a man, in my opinion.
Amen.
But yeah, like, why would I even do that? So clearly you can tell how she dates. You can tell how she dates. Like, you living with the dudes you're dating and you're in a relationship with. And that's why you do have that fear of a man doing all that X, Y, and Z. Live by yourself, damn it.
Yes.
That's one thing me and best friend was taught when we was little, was never move in with a man, never let a man move in with you. Like,
I have never seen it work.
It's a dangerous game out there.
We have never seen it work. We have never seen anybody in our family. We have never seen friends, nobody, where they were living together, not married, and it actually worked. I have no proof that it works. So why would I do it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, it's like I look at it as far as men and women who get into these relationships and they try to hold on to it, even though they know they're not going to actually push forward. It's stealing time.
Yeah.
You're essentially stealing time from a person and not giving them time to be able to actually find that one that's going to give you exactly what you want, which is marriage. And or they do this this thing where I call it a placeholder. They're like, they love everything you do for them. They love everything you do for them. So they're just going to keep you to the side of them, keep you as a placeholder until they find the one they think or what they truly want. And then they're like, okay, well, I found a girl who gives me everything, including everything you already have given me. So, peace out, bye. And that's the same case for men too. Men go through that with women. Women go through that with men nowadays.
Yep.
And that's extremely selfish. And you do have a lot of extremely selfish people out there. People get into relationships because they like what you do for them. Yeah. Which is why I think it's even in the Bible too. You can't give too much of yourself to a person that you're not married to. So yeah, not living with each other, but even while you're dating, you shouldn't give so much of yourself. So because at the end of the day, they're going to get a whole lot from you, and then next thing you know. So that's just my approach. That's just my thought to it.
Oh yeah, it makes perfect sense. You're absolutely correct. Julie Polaris said that's just sad. It is sad. It gets sadder. So we're gonna watch some more of this young lady's tell her point of view of marriage.
That's so you guys are painting a picture of not eating a man, but actually.
Oh, it sounds a little robotic-y.
Yeah, sounds staticky.
Yeah, now I can't hear anything.
No.
Yeah, I hear it.
No.
Son of a gun.
So the devil don't want this to come out.
Right. Where we specialize in delivering compassionate.
It do not want this out.
I heard the ad
for a range of purposefully designed treatment rooms.
Okay, so the commercial's playing.
Yeah,
okay.
Because you kind of gave a little face when she said, like, she puts her man a specific kind.
Like, no. Straight up. No, but it's okay. I'd rather he was be honest.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
At least he told you.
Like, no, for real. I didn't even take no her by, and I was just like, okay, baby.
Baby, I love you.
That's fine.
So you guys are painting a picture of not eating a man, but actually it's a circumstance where it's a specific kind of relationship where the guy doesn't want to marry the woman. Because I mean, if a guy said, yes, I do want to marry you, then you wouldn't have this perspective of like, I'm not putting a man first, right?
I would never put a man first because even though this is my life. You know what I'm saying? This is my life.
But if you were married.
If I was married, I still wouldn't put my husband first.
Damn!
It's my life.
Hold on a second.
Okay, so this is how I feel. I feel like you should take care of yourself.
How many girls agree with her? Just out of curiosity.
I halfway agree with her.
Okay. Anybody else agree?
Okay. Because I just feel like that could be why he doesn't want to get married, right? If you're saying like, even if we get married, I'm putting myself first and I'm not putting you first. If I was a dude and I heard that, like I would definitely say, okay, then I'm not going to marry you.
It's also about coming together. You know what I'm saying? It's also about a union. And I'm saying, what I'm saying is there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people nowadays that doesn't understand what a union is.
Well, I would argue potentially that you're that person because you just said if we got married, I would still put me first. That's not a union.
First, though? Would a man put his wife first?
Yes.
So you should always what I'm saying is I feel like you should always put yourself first. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to a guy, you shouldn't put a guy over yourself. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So I would offer that in a very productive marriage there is no I versus, it's just we. Like I am in a partnership, a team, me and my husband. The concept of put first, even saying that just sounds so crazy to me in a marriage. Like I've never thought it once. It's just, it's us, it's the kids, it's our family. Like I becomes we. And so I would just say like maybe when you put that out there to a guy, like I, then they say, okay, maybe this isn't marriage material because she's telling me that even if I give her everything and I have the potential, then the risk of losing everything, that she still would not make any sacrifices in her life. And I could.
She talking.
I'm gonna be honest. This triggered me just a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
The only reason why is because for her, she sounds so selfish and self-centered. And it's like, you can't have that in a relationship, because I mean, what's the point of you being in a relationship then? If it's all about you and you want to live the life that you want to live for you, then yeah, you should be by yourself so you can live for you. Because the minute that you get into a relationship with somebody, it becomes about both of you. If you expect him to give you the world, you got to do the exact same thing for him. I always thought like it's 100, never 50-50, but 100. I give you 100% of myself. You give me 100% of yourself. And then, yeah, we, of course, maintain that household. You know, we maintain the children. We maintain, you know, making sure the bills is paid and all that other good stuff. And we can have fun in the meantime, too, like going out and all that good stuff. That's nice. But if you're not thinking about him at all and you're not willing to put him, you know, not on a pedestal, but you're not willing to, you know, give him more, then, I mean, what are you doing? It was like, what's the point?
She sounds hurt. Like she's done it wrong for so long. Because like Trin said, her idea of putting a man first probably is giving them her body. Whatever they want her to do, she's putting all her own values on the back burner to please a man, and not putting God with, you know, where people aren't trained. Like, we're not teaching people to prioritize what pleases God. So like she talking about don't put a man first. To some degree, she's right, but she's saying put myself first. No, put God first. And that's what's not being taught, to put God first. I can understand, because her, like Trish said, her idea of putting a man first is distorted. And she don't know the Lord, so she don't know herself, and she sounds like hurt. She sounds like damaged goods, because she's done it wrong for so long, and only seen the bad outcome of her own bad decisions. So she's equated all of that stuff to why, now I'm never gonna put a man first. It's like, lady, you've been doing it wrong in the first place. So, you know, to some degree, she's kind of right. So Julie said, this is why it's a good idea to learn how to put God first and above everything.
Yes.
Like I said,
I think this is also a big issue. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to say that this is the reason why a lot of feminists are going through this, because a lot of feminists have that kind of mentality. Believe it or not, I mean, true feminism is, of course, protection of women's rights and protection of women in general. But there are feminists out here, the new age feminists, they become feminists because of hurt. And so they perpetuate this idea that women can do anything a man can do. We can do it by ourselves because men seem to not want us, or they don't care for us. So we should be able to do that. But it just comes from a place of hurt in general. Yeah. And that's the new age feminist way now.
Like you said, if you do it bad enough times, you will convince yourself that that's the reality, when that's really just that's the reality you keep creating for yourself. Yeah. Like you said, if you don't put the Lord first, you're not listening, because the Lord gonna tell you. You keep talking about women's intuition and you keep ignoring it. And you ignore it enough times, then it will become your reality that doing what you've been doing is not gonna work. So I don't know. Yeah, you do it enough time.
That's the truth. Howard, did you want to say something?
No, just that I agree. And when she said, what's it called? I can do anything a man can do.
I don't want to.
I don't say that. Like, I don't say that because okay, as y'all know, I live by myself. And I was trying to fix my closet door. I almost broke my neck. Like, it was bad. I mean, of course I can learn how to do that, whatever. But just small things like that, I don't. And like I said, as a woman, I feel like, I think I talked about it in another live, how like being a woman isn't as difficult when you're not trying to be a man. You know, you're not trying to say like, I can do anything a man can do. Of course your life is going to be hard. If you're trying to be a man and you're trying to work in these big warehouses and work 12-hour shifts and then come home and cook, clean, do that, I'm not doing all that. No. There's certain things that I'm cool just leaving to the men. Yeah. And I'm fine with that. That doesn't make me less of a woman. I just have a different role in my life, which God gave me that role for a reason, because he know I would not be working in that warehouse. I would not. So he made me a woman for a reason, because I would have said no. They would have been like, look at little girly boy. I'm not doing that. So he made me a woman. And that's what I do.
I'm like, why would you want to do everything a man could do? Men don't even like doing everything a man could do. That's why they be offing themselves.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to. Men don't want to be men. That's why they become women.
Yeah, exactly.
That looks hard. It looks hard. It looks like even women that have had multiple children say they would not change being a woman for the world because being a man looks extremely difficult.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Definitely agree.
Yeah.
There's a few things I'm not gonna do. Like I'm not gonna fix or put up furniture. I don't do that.
Almost broke my neck.
I had to do that, but not because
I'm not gonna hurt myself here or try to lift up anything heavy because that actually hurts us physically, more than just our arms, but even in our pelvic area, like our wombs and stuff. We can't lift up heavy things for a reason. Like men are strong for a reason. So there's a lot that they can do strength wise. We just can't do.
Yeah, I'm just there on the sidelines to encourage. Go, babe, go. Lift it up.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
You see, I was watching one lady. Her and her Korean husband, they got 7. They have 7 children, and she did a short meme of like a clip of her when she's by herself versus her when she's with her husband. When she's by herself, she's carrying the groceries. She got the baby carrier. She doing all things. When her husband there, she's like, "Oh, can you get that?" Like, yeah, hell yes. If he doesn't have to do all that, so be type of different. It's different when the days I am by myself. I can do it. I'm not gonna wait for him to come home to get the groceries. I can do it. But if he home, he can do it. So what a man said, it sucks the way women are now. Men don't even want to pay for dates anymore. I couldn't do it, but I understand. Oh yeah.
But what's so ironic is that the women that are wanting to be like men, they're wanting to be like the men they don't like.
Yeah.
Like you're not like if you're gonna be, you want to be like the man, but you're wanting to be like the man that is not ish. You want to be like the man, with, for instance, abortion. You want to be like that man who don't want to take care of his responsibilities. You want to be like that man who's sleeping around, treating women like crap.
Right.
Like you're not wanting to be the best parts of the man. You want to be like the worst parts of the man.
Yeah.
Very ironic.
The toxic femininity that they talk about so often is exactly what women want to perpetuate. That toxic femininity, that promiscuous behavior, that disrespectful behavior. That's what women want to be. That kind of masculine. Like Trent, we had a clip that Trent said that ain't no such thing as a masculine woman, because a lot of times these what they call masculine woman is she's a raging banshee. She's disrespectful. You can't tell her nothing. She is full of herself, and that's not what masculinity should not how masculinity should be represented.
No, not at all. Masculinity is an amazing thing. It's something natural. It's something that is truly attractive in a man to have that for real. Yes. And it is unfortunate that women don't see it that way nowadays. So will some women, not all women, but there are some women who don't see it like that. They just look at it like, oh, well, he acting this way. This man's got integrity. He can actually stand up for himself. That's a problem. And it's like, you shouldn't fear that or should not want that. That's actually a good thing.
Yes.
But and it's true. They always go for the toxic parts. Like, if a man can cheat, I should be able to do the same thing and he should be okay with it. Like, if you didn't like that, why would you become that?
Why would you want
it's like the victim is becoming the person who's becoming the perpetrator. And it's like, what's the purpose in that? What is that going to do for you except hurt you even more?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what be happening. They show is hurting themselves even more.
Yeah. And they become bitter and old, and they yell at everybody.
That's the thing. Everybody else be paying for it.
Yeah.
Can't hear me. Mom, I can't hear it.
Yeah, there's no sound.
Is that y'all talking?
Yes, we can't hear it.
Oh, I hear it on my end. Oh, I wonder. Let me go back. Go back a little. I don't know what to do because I can hear it on. Cause I got some headphones in this now. I see if what y'all can hear. Let's try this again. Yeah, I hear the commercial.
No.
No. Come in here.
Good grief. Okay. I tried to refresh it again if it'll play. I don't hear it. Okay. Well, it goes on. She goes on to discuss. I tried to refresh it again and see. Let's try again. Let's see again. Because the woman, Candace Owens, is telling her, well, if you have that mentality, me, then why would a man marry you?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me see.
Yeah, I was saying like that's just it's extremely selfish. It's this extremely selfish mentality to have in a relationship. If it is going to be about you, you should be by yourself, and you should be okay with that.
Be okay.
If that's the case, if you're truly a person that cannot see past yourself and you can't look and take care of someone else, and there really is no purpose in you getting married. Just be by yourself.
Yeah,
there's plenty of people who even admit they don't want to get married because they are selfish people.
Yeah, which makes perfect sense. Absolutely.
Yeah, they're like, look, I can't get married to anybody. Yeah,
that's why I love
focus in on. You said Amish people?
No, I said that's why I love honest people, straightforward.
Yeah,
like, straightforward about it.
Yeah.
Yes, honest people. All right, let's see. Go ahead, Shay. What was you gonna say?
No, I was just that's all I was gonna say.
Maybe.
That's all I was gonna say though. I can't hear anything.
No, neither. Why is it acting so stupid?
I don't know.
Because it was just playing like just a second ago. I don't understand what's going on.
It was just playing.
Yeah, it's going in and out.
And you didn't even touch nothing, huh? After it was already playing.
Yeah, no, I just had it paused. It just means
it's probably
a powerful topic. Let's see. Also share audio. Let's try this. Try this. Be careful. Share audio. Yes. Okay. They will hear themselves. Okay. All right. Let's see. This gave me like a warning. So let's see if you guys can hear it.
Man like that as of now. So I'm gonna focus on myself.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to highlight that it's a specific kind of man that you're talking about. Yes. If a guy doesn't want to get married, but also fair if he kind of a person. Do you know what I mean? If you're like, I told my husband like day one, I want to get married.
I've been
you know what I mean? I was like, no games. It's a we. When are we getting married? When are we having kids?
Right,
we.
I can agree with that, but then some people have different goals from other. My number one goal is to be a star, not to be married.
Okay, fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm saying if that might be why you're not getting married.
Yeah, I don't care to get married.
Yeah, it's just it's feeding each other.
I really don't care to get married.
Which is fine.
I guess a question real quick. Who's your role?
You see what women do when they've got to a point where, okay, this could never happen for me, so now I've just changed my goals. Like now being married is no longer a goal. Oh yeah, not a goal to get married. Didn't she just say she broke up with the boyfriend that she was with for too long because he didn't want to get married? So if your goal wasn't really to get married, then it shouldn't have mattered if he wanted to get married.
Yeah. People just be talking. Exactly. She was talking here, so talking.
Wait, what did she say? Like, because it kind of cut out on my end, but she said my goal is that what did she say something?
She mentioned it's something about herself, to focus on herself.
Yeah, she was like,
she said her goal.
Yeah, she said she wanted to be a star. Then she was like, I don't need to be married. And I'm just like, okay.
Not priority.
Right.
My priority.
But then why are we even still talking about it then?
I know. Why did you bring that up?
That's where I stopped.
And when I said like, oh well, men can get away with it. Why can't women? It's because, and I think there's many reasons why, but I think one of the reasons why is because everyone's gonna have to hear about it. When men do the stuff they do, a lot of times they're quiet. They're not going on social media talking about this is what I experienced with this, that, and the third. The first thing that women do after they go through X, Y, and Z and experience sleeping around, and they go on the podcast to talk about, oh, a man treated me like that. It's because the first thing y'all do after, or the first thing women do after they go through the stuff that they're going through, everyone got to hear about it.
Yeah.
If y'all was just as low key and quiet or whatever as the men, then no one would have anything to say like, oh, it's okay for the men to do it and it's not okay for the women to do it. Like, be quiet about it. If you're gonna sleep around, if you're gonna do all those things, be quiet. But the first thing they do is go on social media to tell their story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Model in Drop Game.
Onika Tanya Mirage.
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj. Got it.
Oh, that hurt. And real girls actually want to get married on the panel, real quick. Oh, everybody. Everybody? Okay. All right, just out of curiosity. All right. So for you, you said that you're putting career first. Question for you: do you think?
Point out. She said her idol was Nicki Minaj. We got Nicki Minaj is married.
She's married,
and Nicki Minaj very clearly puts her husband first. She's married. And she puts her husband first because her husband, there was a whole thing about her husband and she stood behind him. So what is this lady talking about? She don't got a clue.
That's my man. I'm going to stick behind him. That's Nicki Minaj right there.
You think
she stood behind him?
After putting your career first, being a dancer, being involved in the work that you're in, that you're going to find your dream man at the end of the line?
Yes, because my career doesn't define me. Because my career doesn't define me.
Oh, she is too.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a completely different woman. I can separate my business and what I do from my actual personal life. Right. I was just about to exit. What's funny?
In my throat. Sorry. My bad.
Sorry, continue on.
Okay, so basically, like how she was saying, like when I do get into a relationship or an engagement, like even with my ex-fiance, I tell everybody what I do up front. Like, look, I do this, that, and the third. Do you want to be a part of it or do you not? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You can have the passwords to my phone. You can anything to make you feel comfortable. And with my engagement, he was like, well, I don't want you to work. I don't want you to do anything. He had money. He took very good care of me. He didn't want me to work. I did because it's an emotional thing. I don't care about money. You know what I'm saying? Money is not a focal point for me.
Okay.
I'd rather be taken care of you.
Again, these girls just be talking and don't know what the hell they talking about.
I don't know what the hell she's talking about either. I'm confused. So
she's a stripper.
Okay.
This one is a stripper. She's saying that she was engaged, but the man that she was with didn't want her to work, so she says. But she's like, oh, I'm all about emotional support. The money doesn't mean anything to me. So if the money doesn't mean anything to you, then why feel the need to have your own money?
See, my brain don't go this low.
Exactly.
What is going on? Like, it's stressing me out. Like, when I hear stupidity on such a high level, I just get confused. I don't know what she's talking about.
I think what it is he didn't want her to dance no more.
Yeah.
I think he said, okay, your stripping days is over if you're going to be my wife. And she was like, no, because I guess the bag was just that good. It was just, them dollars was just raining upon raining, like rain down on me. Yeah, that's how she felt. So she was like, I don't want to lose that.
Because she was working at McDonald's and he said, I don't want you to work. She'd
be like, ooh, yes, daddy.
Yeah, come on.
I think she's full of crap because he's an ex-fiance now. So
absolutely.
It has nothing to do with emotional support. You just wanted to keep dancing.
Yeah.
And you didn't want to stop shaking your thing for other men. And he left you and said, okay, well, peace out. And
Yeah,
now
she
you're
wanted
trying
to
to
keep up the
justify it.
attention.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. These folks be trying to lie on folks, but end up really exposing themselves.
Yeah. Basically.
Taken care of emotionally, you know, and feel safe. That's my biggest thing. I want to feel safe. If I make you feel safe, make me feel safe.
Okay.
Because money can be
impacting how they value you.
yes and no. I say yes because the second you hear, oh, I'm a sexologist, I'm a dancer, I'm a whatever, I decide to tell you I'm on lifestyles. What do you think? You think escort, or you think she's just another stripper girl type situation? No, yeah, I mean,
Chris.
it's honest. It's honest. It's
All right,
honest.
this nigga. Go ahead. Keep going. Keep going.
That's automatically what you think, you know, especially when you see certain girls that are in the lifestyle being dancers, being escorts, being whatever. That's how they present, and they don't care. Morals. I have values. My career
It's kind of going out.
does not define
Oh
me.
yeah, me too.
I'm a
That's going in and
completely
out.
different
Hear
woman
everything.
from what I am, from what I work. Me making money has nothing to do with.
I know. You can't hear anything.
Oh, we can hear it. It
Yeah,
was
mine was
going
just going in and out.
Yeah,
It's
mine
going in and out
sounded
on
a
my
little
end too. I don't know.
robotic. Maybe it's my computer, maybe. I don't know, but
No,
it was
it's
in and
my
out and I
internet.
couldn't really hear everything.
It's my
Oh.
internet. I don't know what's going on with everything's just whatever. So I think it's my
But
end,
was
not
she
y'all.
was nowhere, but was she saying something about she wants a career while being married and things like that? Is that what she was heading to?
No, she was saying that her career as she's like, when people hear what I do, she's call herself a sexologist, stripper, whatever, you know, that her career doesn't define her. Not what she
But
does
it does.
define her. So right. So this I'm gonna call this section. First, hit the like button. I see it's a few people watching. If you haven't hit the like button yet, do that right now. Ahorita. Marca el like. Hit the like. But I'm gonna call this section, let me teach you something your mama didn't. Cause Candace gonna go in on this situation because a lot of these folks are like the topic of this live, absent parents, and this is the results. This is what we see. This is the result of parents not teaching their kids. This is the consequences of whether fatherless, motherless, or if the mother and father is present, they ain't teaching them and really a lot of that selfish mentality comes from mothers and fathers being selfish. They so on themselves, so the child has to develop a mentality that's like, well, I got to be for myself because nobody took care of me. Nobody took the time to teach me, so I had to learn on my own. So that's where a lot of that mentality of, I gotta do me. I gotta take care of me first. Me. And that stuff trickles over into relationships. And it's because it's one thing if you're actually taking care of yourself, have some value, have some morals. But a lot of these people that's about they self ain't even taking care of themselves. They not taking care of their health. They not taking care of their mental health. They're not taking care of their physical health. They're really not putting themselves first.
They think self-care is bubble baths and body scrubs.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
Like self-care routine, but they not doing the therapy part. They not doing the, learning how to.
They're not doing the internal work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most
not reading the
definitely.
Bible.
And it's what's so crazy too, especially with her, and she's talking about the sex industry, things of that nature. A lot of, unfortunately, yeah, you do have a lot of women who grow up without dads to tell them how much they love them and that they're beautiful no matter what. Because of not having that, a lot of these women seem to think that the sex industry, it's easy. Of course, it's easy money. Okay. As long as you have the looks and things of that nature to an extent, and seeing what you put out there, of course. And it's also the oldest profession too. So it's like, it's the oldest and easiest profession. Usually a lot of women who are extremely insecure get into those types of positions because they've never actually had the affection from their father. So they get affection through the money that men give them for telling them that they're beautiful, liking their bodies, having sex with them, commenting and telling them how wonderful their bodies look and all this other stuff. And then they turn around and say, yeah, that's how you get your money. That's how you get the bag. That's where the real money is at. And a man should be okay with that. It's like, unfortunately, you kind of put yourself in a really bad position when it comes down to how good men are going to view you. Because eventually, they're going to look into that, like her situation. Oh boy, her fiance left her because she didn't want to give up the lifestyle. And he's like, I don't want to walk around with a stripper as a wife. So, it's a lot of good men don't want that. Now, there are some men who are willing to accept your past, and they'll be like, okay, I get that's who you were, but I'm getting the woman that you are now. Can we work that out? And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think it becomes a big problem where, you're putting yourself in this kind of career, and I can't even call it a career because it's not really real.
I mean,
it's just, it's
something they do. Yeah. It's something they do because it's available at that time. And what you mentioned, they talk more about that. So we'll play some more and then we'll talk more about it.
I gotta go, ladies.
Don't you think that what you're willing to do?
You said what, baby?
I gotta go. Yeah.
Bye, baby. Have fun.
Bye, ladies.
I love you.
Bye. Take care.
Have fun.
See you. Bye.
All right. Bye. Okay.
Do for work does define your value, though. Like you should say, like, these are not my values. I just do this for work. Like,
Absolutely.
I prostitute, but these are not my values. I just do this for work.
Yeah.
No, I'm just giving an example here, right? Like,
okay.
I'm not sure that we can separate that, right?
I can.
Like,
I can.
well, you can, but I'm
Yeah.
saying that I think for men, and I don't want to speak for men, but you're telling them what you're telling them what your values are.
Yes.
When you say, I do this and I do that and I do this, right? Like if I'm like, they don't think that you're just performing per se.
I make them comfortable. Like I will tell you everything up front. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to hide anything. I'm literally going to show you everything up front. If you have any insecurities about what I do, if you have any questions, I'm like, look, babe, this is literally what I do. That's it. That's all.
So that would just so we can run your argument to a totally separate career path. Like that would be like me saying, I sell crack to children, right? But I tell you that I sell crack to children. So my values are in check because I told you that I sell crack to children.
Okay. So, let me also add, if I do get into a relationship, me telling you up front what I do, if you're not comfortable with that, I will not do it.
I'm not saying that like,
enough where I'm like, okay, he's worth it. But I also know what type of man that I can give up my part of my income for.
But I'm just saying, how can you separate your values from what you do? Like even that example I just gave you.
It's easy. I can't really explain it. It's just easy. I just don't get lost in that world of being a dancer, being trapped in the erotic world. I don't get lost in it. Like I'm very like headstrong. So it's like, it's literally business. It's kind of like an actor. I can go on Seinfeld and or Friends or whatever and be an actor, but it's completely different at home, So it's acting for me, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But that's it. Like, yeah. And then at home, I cook, I clean, I will do all the things of wifely duties, or and I'm happy. They're happy.
So you're basically just in your mind, you're like, I'm just two different people.
I am. I definitely am. Sabella and Etienne are two completely different people.
Keep it a bean.
What?
Commercial. But while that's spinning.
She's giving me a headache.
You're right.
She's giving me a headache. Like it.
Yeah. Because the thing is that she thinks she's talking like she knows, and she doesn't have a clue.
You could tell that she doesn't have a clue, because the thing is that she's bouncing around a lot. Like she's saying, okay, hold on. I don't even know where to start. It's just so much to unpack here. Because there was the part where she was saying how, because she had the ex-fiance or whatever, and then she's like, he has to be good enough for me to leave my values behind and not strip anymore. But stripping doesn't make me and the values don't align with that, and I'm an actor, and it just sounds ridiculous to me. It sounds very stupid. Girl, you are who you are. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
Nobody that truly values themselves is gonna dance naked on a pole for many, many men every night and lose out on having a fiance that you didn't have to work that off to be with. No woman that values herself is gonna be able to do that, let alone do that sober. Because if you think about it, a lot of people that do that stuff aren't sober. So Lord knows if she's even sober on the podcast, because she sounds a little bit slurry to me.
Well, they got drinks. You see they got the red cups on the table, so a lot of them they drink.
So she's leaned up. I can't.
Yeah. Julie said, if her work doesn't define her, then she should probably tell us what does define her. I feel like she is full of it. Feel like she boo boo. Full of
yeah.
Tell it, Julie. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, because like what I'm getting from her is I think she's in Delulu land. Like she wants everything. She wants her cake and she wants to eat it too. And it's like, no, that's not how life works. Like she said, she don't even have that fiance anymore, and for a reason. She said it. Because like you said earlier, some people be trying to lie on other people, but end up telling on themselves. And basically, you basically told everybody that this man left you because you did not want to stop stripping. But then you turn around and say, oh, but there are men that I might actually leave the stripping for. I'm like, why couldn't you do it for this person? Especially if he said that he was willing to, buy everything for you. Like, you don't even have to work.
Yeah.
If that is the case. Yeah. So the truth of the matter is, no, you like the money, you like the attention. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Like a lot of these women, these strippers, they drink before they start. Some of them get high before they even get ready to get up on the pole. Yeah. So so it's like, cause they have to get their quote unquote mind right, or in the mindset to be able to be this sexual object for other men, so they
call it pregame.
I think
and she's talking about it like, and it's like she's talking about an actor's perspective or whatever the case is. Like I said, a lot of people in the industry use drugs and alcohol and all type of things to be able to be that fake person. And when someone's lost in the spirit, you could just tell. You can tell that this woman, all of them, because the way that the other girl flipped the script, when you're talking to somebody that's sane, like Candace Owens in this scenario, like I said, we don't agree with everything that she says, whatever. Sure. But when someone is sane, and from a married woman's perspective, when you're talking to her and you're trying to convince yourself and her at the same time that this is what you truly believe, you're gonna sound insane. Because they all go full circle. Both of the women went full circle once it was all said and done. So it's like these people don't even believe what they're really saying. The girl they don't believe what they're really saying. Like I said, someone that values themselves is not gonna just let everybody see them naked. Mm-hmm. There's no way you wouldn't be able to do that. Like it doesn't matter if you say I can separate work from that. It doesn't matter. You will not physically be able to get up there and do that if you value yourself. You just
yeah. Yes. Right. She's a drunken liar.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. She's probably drunk right now. She sounds drunk to me. I don't know what she's talking about.
And mind you, this is a Fresh and Fit podcast. They always got the girls drinking. They do that intentionally.
Yeah.
You can just tell. You can tell.
It's the truth serum.
Mm-hmm. Get them to actually tell the truth about what it really is. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Gives you the confidence.
I see them cups.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they drunk. I see it.
Yeah. He does that they do that intentionally on that show.
Think that's something.
Oh wait,
he's muted.
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
Never did.
Stop the cap.
Not one time.
Shut up. In the club, I'm Sabella in the club.
Right.
At home,
and what are Sabella's values?
Does Sabella smash in the club?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely.
Never did.
Stop the cap.
One time.
Shut up.
Back room.
Never. No. Never. Ever.
Omax.
Go ahead.
Make a phone call
Go
in
ahead.
the office.
Go ahead.
She one of them. All right, nigga. Who y'all?
You want me to call? Oh, y'all took my phone. I would call the office, but no, I've never done anything like that. Ever.
Okay.
No, and that's cool. I mean, you already said that you're putting your career first, which is fine. I'm just wondering, like, if you're okay with the quality of man that's going to be left for you at the end of the road when you're done with your career and you're done prioritizing that.
I have dealt with both shitty men and quality men. So it's like I've experienced both. Because of who I am, they understand that, okay, this is her career. This is what she chooses to do to make money. But she's a completely different person with me. It's not airs. It's not fronts. It's not, I'm trying to get your money. It's not none
Can you
of
remind me
that.
how old you are? 27, did you say?
I'm 29.
29.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you, how old were you?
Shut up.
26.
26. And you said man first?
Yeah, if I have a man, yes.
Yeah, if you can find one, you would put marriage
well,
first.
It's not fine, but I mean, I guess. But yeah, I would. Like, I would put that first. Yeah.
What would be a better word than fine?
I don't know. I just makes me seem like I'm out here in the streets.
I was. I don't think there's any shame in like wanting to find a man, like wanting to find a relationship. Like I don't. Yeah, I feel like people.
You should be looking
For you two, do you guys think that you need to actively find a man, or are you just going to find you? Just out of curiosity.
For me, you can find me. I'm fine
They gotta
with my
find you.
dog.
Okay,
I'm fine with
same
my
I mean,
for you?
I would like a guy to like put in the initial effort. Yeah, but I would. But yeah, I don't think I've ever just like gone out like be the what's it called?
You've never actively seek the man.
go-getter.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you have options though, right? You have options like going out, dating stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just choose a good one.
Well, yeah. So I was kind of dating somebody, and then I just found out he like lied about his age.
Uh-oh.
Wow. Damn.
How old? Like it's too young?
No. He told me he was 36, and I just found out he's like 50.
Shit.
He's just like really good at like dyeing his beard all the time.
Does he do tattoos?
No.
Where did you grow up?
In Dallas.
Okay.
Or actually, I
And
moved
when
around
did you
a lot.
get into the business?
Well, since I got kicked out of school, so like if you're at like I didn't have a dad, but I went to college. I like had a 4.0 and a full ride scholarship, and I was doing really well, but got kicked out for a joke I made, and then I that led me into the sex industry, and it's just for me as a means to an end. It's the only thing I knew what I could do to make some money. So,
And how does that impact, like, I guess, your relationship with your mom? Does she know you're on OnlyFans or no? Well, she does now. Hey, mom.
They're very like country. Like they're not gonna like know what this is. I hope.
If they speak English, they might put it together.
My little brothers watch the show though, so
They
I don't
do.
know, yeah.
Okay. So, would you think your mom would be?
No, she wouldn't like it, but
She would understand.
I think she just wants me as long as I'm in her life and like.
Was
we
she
have a
like your
relationship.
friend growing up?
She was in and out. I have like mommy issues and daddy issues. So,
Holy.
but
There it is.
Them men in there is snickling. I could not be able to be on there. The way that them men is in there just laughing at these girls is so sad. I'm sitting here. They throwing hot dogs and memes. I would have left. I couldn't be able to do that.
The Fresh and Fit cast are horrible. There's a reason why they got demonetized. They got demonetized everywhere because of how disrespectful they can be to pretty much everyone. But going back to what this young lady said, the fact that she had a 4.0 GPA, that means she's very smart. She's intelligent, so you were going to college for something. You may have made a mistake. That doesn't mean you stop. And the fact that she's saying, oh, well, it led me to the OnlyFans thing and stuff like that. It's just, I don't buy that. I don't believe that that's the case. That's what's led her to OnlyFans. Because if you're smart and you got brains, you're willing to go through other means to be able to continue your education and get the career that you want. Just because one end stops doesn't mean that you should completely throw away everything. Because I look at women like Judge Maybelline, Judge Toller, Judge Hatchett. These women have careers, but they also have families. They're very intelligent women for the most part, and they were able to do what they had to do to survive. They may have made mistakes in their past, and they've openly talked about that, but they still kept going nonetheless, and they were still able to maintain their marriages. Like, for instance, Judge Toller, she just lost her husband in 2022, but they've been together for 32 years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, how is it that this woman is a female judge? She's a lawyer. She's an American lawyer. That's talking. I'm talking years in school. You have this great career. You made a good amount of money. You're a busy woman, but you're still able to maintain a home and a husband.
The thing is,
she didn't think to herself. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I was just saying she didn't think to herself, maybe I should go sell my body because I don't think the money is here.
Yeah,
it's choice.
Yeah,
so she made a conscious decision. She said, "Okay, well, I'm going to use the fact that they kicked me out of college as an excuse to just go and sell my body and make easier money."
She's an OnlyFans model.
Yeah,
yes.
The white one was talking.
I was just gonna say, like, the whole thing is, you like, remember how we were talking, Auntie, about how things aren't necessarily impulsive. She had it in the back of her mind to be what's it called, OnlyFans model the entire time, because you know nowadays it's broadcasted. This is the life, to go sell your body and do this, right? She had that in the back of her mind to do that from the jump. Because I can sit around and say, "Oh, I have such a sad story." You don't know me, Shay, but you know I could do the same thing. You know, I could move around and be like, because I have mommy and daddy issues at the same time. So it's like I can sit around
for real.
And I also have a 4.0 GPA. But if, you know, God forbid things didn't work out for me, in the back of my mind, my first thing would not be, "Oh, well, this is gonna lead me to OnlyFans." That's not something that is in my mind at all. But when it's in your mind already, you have a plan to do that. You already want to do that, and you're looking for, like you said, an excuse, a reason to jump on that opportunity. And the opportunity was that you got kicked out of school. So now the first thing that you're going to do is what you were thinking about the entire time, which was becoming an OnlyFans model. It was already in the back of your brain. Because like you said, you had mommy and daddy issues. You were already struggling with that. And instead of balancing school and therapy, because if you make, she said that she made a joke. If you make a joke that bad, what was the joke is what I want to know. Because what joke did you make that bad that it went past free speech? It went past everything all the way to the point where you got kicked out of school.
Right.
So instead of having therapy, you know, where you don't even think about whatever joke you made, because it was something racist? Like, what did you say? To get kicked out like that?
Yeah.
So it's like, my whole thing is this, like, it was definitely in the back of her mind instead of balancing therapy, because I have a 4.0 GPA and I'm in therapy. So I don't see myself making a joke and getting kicked out, you know, God forbid, but it was already in the back of her mind.
Oh yeah. Polaris said, "Did she say she didn't have a dad?" That is what she said. She said she got mom and daddy issues.
Me too, girl. But I ain't gonna go and do that.
You know, it's like I could say that too. I got mommy and daddy issues. I had it, but I refuse to allow whatever mistakes my parents did to allow those to be an excuse for me to go out and act like a butthole. Go out here and do whatever demonic things I want to do because I got mommy and daddy issues. Like, give me a break. It's an excuse. It's an excuse. And we were talking about that today in church. Like my mother-in-law said, excuse like buttholes. Everybody got one. And if you don't got one, you got a colostomy bag.
Grandma gets on my nerve.
That's what she be saying. That's what she said. It's the truth. It's the truth.
It is. But what's so funny to me is like these women don't understand. Like, you're not going to be young forever is my whole thing, right? You're not going to be able to be an OnlyFans model forever for the rest of your life. There's going to be a point in time where all your friends are married or people that you used to know are married and they have children and they have lives and they have money where they never had to sell their nipple on the internet. And you're going to be the only one that did that. People aren't understanding. You're going to wake up 60 one day. You're not going to be 28. This girl says she's 29 years old. You're hitting 30, babe.
Yeah.
When is it going to end? When is it going to end? It's not, you can't do that forever. You're going to have hips out of place if you keep playing.
It comes fast.
But they don't think about that. They think that they're going to look like that forever. Beauty fades.
Even faster when you play with the devil.
Exactly. They already look old to me.
They looking wore out already. She 26. The chocolate one's 29.
Exactly. They already look old. My mama don't even look that old. She 35.
Okay, I'm 38 and they look older than me.
They look older than you. Caked up makeup. They take off that makeup. It ain't gonna look like that no more.
Mm-hmm.
But like now, I see her more of as a friend. But she's still like she's very like religious and very like that. So I don't talk to her about everything. I don't know. So, but I mean, I'm sure she wouldn't be happy about it, and she wants me to like find something better. But just doing what I can.
Dentures versus Nuvia's permanent teeth.
The fact that I think that's a lot of the issue too with folks that are religious and can't teach relationships. Talk about it in the church.
And you feel like you have to do it for financial reasons?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Or did you just want fast money? Because I feel like you could get a job if you were like, I want to be a bartender. Like, I mean, you're young, you're attractive, you're like, you don't have to do OnlyFans, right? Like, I mean,
I don't know.
I was broke, crazy broke, and I never sold my body. Like, so I feel like now people keep saying they have to, but like, it's just like, I want fast money and I want to be able to pay rent, sort of a thing.
I want to be able to pay rent, but what else would I do that's going to make me the same amount? And I don't make
it's not going to make you the same amount.
I don't make a lot of money. Because I don't like do the absolute most. So I make a regular amount and I make enough to get by. And I don't know, I watched my mom struggle growing up, and I saw her do all the normal jobs, and she didn't sell her body and all that. And she like struggled a lot. So I really just kind of was like, will do it almost anything. It was OnlyFans, I don't know. And to not end up like that and like literally being homeless and dumpster diving and all that, like I would rather do OnlyFans than that. So like I think I just have that like that fear, like, and I just watch my mom do all the regular jobs and so.
Candace,
still an excuse.
In your opinion, why do you think?
Because usually the answer is no. Have other options. I think the problem is that especially when you're young, you just want fast money, and I don't think they realize that they're making like it's like this is money up front, but is going to cost you when you get older. It's like up front, everything's gonna look great, and then and you're gonna realize the options, and also, by the way, when you're on OnlyFans and selling your body, like your body's only gonna go in one direction. Like you are a stock that is just declining with age, right? So there's gonna be the next 18-year-old that wants on the internet. You're not be able to bring that you could. So, they say youth is wasted on the young. And I think that's there's an environment where also the materialism that's on Instagram makes them want more before they have to work for it. They're just seeing Kardashians and Jenners out there like spending with they want money, and that they're raised online. And it shows them that like garage, and it's going to come at just a severe cost. So it actually breaks.
Yeah, she preaching.
That's exactly what I said.
And that is
down.
She preaching, like she said it. This generation raised online. Online.
And it's like everywhere you go, it is sex filled, like everything. And then it doesn't help that right now in this generation, like a lot of these young girls, because I noticed it here in LA, because we have something called well, of course, I think in every state probably has it, the whole strolls. So you got these streets where you know where the hookers are going to be at, and things like that, right? Out here in LA, Figueroa, Long Beach Boulevard, Western are the whole strolls. And so you're talking like all you see, especially on Figueroa, on Fig is like the absolute worst. You see a lot of these women, but I'm noticing that they have gotten so much younger. So you would think like when I used to drive down Fig going home from work, all I would see is these young girls who couldn't have been no more than at least 16, 17 years old. And it's like they're babes. These are babies. And because California is freaking weird, as we already know, They allow prostitution more so now. I mean, they have cops drive down Fig all the time. They don't arrest these women for indecent exposure. They don't arrest these women for wearing thongs or bathing suits with the stripper heels. They don't arrest these women. They just drive by, you know. See people pick them up and everything, and it's just I sit back, I look at this, I'm like, y'all need to go home. Like, where's your parents?
Lord,
like, where's your parents at? Why are you out here? You're young. What are you doing? You should be in school. You should be trying to do something better for yourself. And it does not help that a majority of them are Black women. I very rarely see Hispanic women. I very rarely see white women. I don't ever see Asian women. I see mostly, they have a whole different dynamic when it comes to Asian families. But I know that I see majority of the time, young Black girls out there on these streets. It's like, man, you're already ruining yourself early. And then it doesn't help that social media turns around and tells you it's okay. It's just you getting your bag, sis.
Yeah.
It's just you get your money, sis. These men ain't out here. They ain't crap anyway. So go ahead and get your money. And you constantly hearing that over and over again. You build a habit of just doing it. You start to try to normalize it. And it doesn't help that you got a bunch of people that are okaying it. You know, and I think that's the problem with social media. While social media is good for other things, businesses, all that stuff, it's also horrible when it comes down to your psyche. It's horrible when it comes down to your decision making, because you know something is bad, but you know that there are people who have the same mindset you do. So you go looking for those people and you hope that they validate you and give you that good feeling, dopamine feeling of, yes, you can do this. And then you go out and do it and you don't see a problem with it until, like Candace Owens said, years later, it'll mess you up. And then you don't get what you really want, which is safety, a safety net, family, a good husband. No, you've been used up. You tell your business online and you let people know, this is what I did. Good men look at that stuff. And they turn around and be like, I don't want you. But the simps are going to want you. And nobody wants the simps. So,
like Howard said in one of the clips, you just like a hoe, you attract a pimp.
It's true. Like, people be, man, look, you can attract something like that just by the way you look. Like, even for me. So y'all, as y'all know, y'all probably don't know, not everybody, but I turned 20 or whatever. Like a week ago.
Happy birthday.
But I was gonna dress like a stripper on Instagram. Yes, I was. Because I was like, can't nobody tell me nothing. But then again, it's like, since I, came out my mama, couldn't nobody tell me nothing. So really nothing changed. But my whole thing is like, when I realized, I don't want to be lusted over, because I'm like, this is what's going to happen. Everybody was just going to swipe up and say whatever the case was. Oh, pretend like they cared about my birthday. Oh, happy birthday. I just missed you. So all that bull. None of it was going to be real. So, I stayed off social media for my birthday. And I had a great time. And everybody that texted me and remembered was people that were my real family. And I got to see who really cared and who really knew, remember. People that I didn't even think would remember.
I forgot. Can't remind me. I did. I sure did. It came so fast. I'm so sorry, niece. It came so fast.
It's funny because I was like, something feels different today. She like, what did you say? I think it was like, you said something religious, something about God. I'm like, it's my birthday. Is what I
forgot.
Then you was like, what's your cash app?
Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I forgot. But
so,
I just
you can attract a pimp.
I just, niece and anybody and everybody watching, don't have the mindset of can't nobody tell me nothing. That was that I did an episode about I'm grown is the most dangerous mindset, because that mindset will keep you stagnant, where you can't get where the Lord can't get new information to you, because you have the mindset of I know. And it'd be like, if you did know, you wouldn't be doing the stupid stuff you're doing if you did know. So it's okay not to know. It's okay to have a mentality of not to know. Don't.
Go.
No, I'm just saying, don't have a mentality of can't nobody tell me nothing. Now, the wrong people can't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
But when you got people that have wisdom and impart wisdom on you, please tell me something is my mind. Please tell me something. I was telling somebody earlier when my mother-in-law, when my kids were younger, she would tell me things about my kids. Like, you know what, you don't let them run you like that. You need to check that. And part of me would want to be like, what? These my kids. Why you want to? And the Lord would be like, don't do that. Don't you dare. Don't do that. Listen. Because it's like, if you knew, you wouldn't have the problems you have.
Mm-hmm.
If I knew what to do with them kids, I wouldn't have the problems I had. Okay?
Yeah.
So you don't know. You don't know. And it's okay not to know. You want to be in the mindset of, Lord, I don't know. Be like a child. Like my mother-in-law says over and over again. Be like a child. Come to the Lord like a child. Lord, I don't know. So that he can impart wisdom on you and give you the knowledge that you don't have. But when we have that mindset of, I don't, I know and can't nobody tell me nothing and I'm grown and all of this is how folks stay in the same cycles of madness. Because the devil has you resisting the wisdom the Lord's trying to get to you. And then right, we like, can't nobody tell me nothing, in the same breath praying, Lord, help me. And then the Lord send you help. Mm-hmm. And you like, ain't nobody tell me nothing. Why you telling me this? Because you just prayed for help. And because you don't like the package the help is coming in, you're going to resist it. But it'd be a demon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It'd be a demon having us resist the information that God is trying to get to us, so we don't grow, so we don't develop into the people God wants us to be. So I just, it's like, we say empty words. Like, can't nobody tell me nothing, I'm grown. We just say empty words, but we don't realize that it's a resistance demon putting a block on our heart so that we can't get the wisdom to us.
This is true. You took a little bit more of the serious route. What I was meaning by that was validation of like you being pretty. When I said like, because the thing is like, can't nobody tell me nothing. I meant like when I post myself, them telling me that I'm pretty. Like, you can't tell me nothing. I already know I'm cute.
Oh yeah, you fine. Yeah,
that was what I was meaning by that. But
yes, and I appreciate that. Yes, you're supposed to be already know you fine. Should nobody have to tell you fine? You should already know. Absolutely. But I mean, just that mentality is so common though. That wasn't just necessarily directed just towards you. It's just something that I had to address for people in general, because it's such a common issue. And even like I said, myself, it was I had that mindset, and the Lord had to humble me, like humble yourself, take that information. Don't, where I got you, the first thing somebody tell you something, the first thing you got to be like, I know, or okay, like, okay, I am, and it'd be like, just shut up and take the information, just don't say nothing.
Because like I learned that about myself too. I think I talked about it on the live one day about how like I'm okay with saying I don't know, like I don't find it, because honestly, like just like the podcast that we just watched, how the girls kept going around in circles. It was embarrassing because they wouldn't just listen to what she was saying when she was saying something to them that could really save them. So it's like, because I had an all-knowing mentality for a long time where I felt like, I knew a lot, or people couldn't tell me certain things. But definitely like, or it would be too many people could tell me things and I'll go along with it. So once I started to realize look at people's lives and look at where they are to see, what they say and how that advice, runs through and how thorough it is and how, what it means, like, how it can actually help or save you in your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So on the more deeper level, what she said, but when I said can't nobody tell, I meant how cute I am, because I still believe that. Can't nobody tell me nothing about how cute I am. Next.
I love it. Yes. And also to kind of chime in on what you said, like being okay with saying you don't know, it's so mature in and of itself, and honest. At least be honest with yourself, and it helps you grow mentally and intelligent wise, because it's like intelligence is simply knowing. So if you don't know, it's okay to ask. It's okay to try to, maybe ask others who have more experience than you to let you know what it is, what time it is, so that way you can make the better choices. And that also ties into what you were saying, Marjorie, that God is here. He's willing to give you the info. It's out there. He'll do whatever it takes to give you what you need. You just got to be willing to be open and be willing to listen. And unfortunately, you do have a lot of young people nowadays. They have this mentality of, I've got to be the smartest one in the room. So I'm willing to lie to pretend and act like I'm the smartest person in the room, not realizing that they're actually making complete and total fools of themselves.
It's way more embarrassing.
You know? Right. Yeah, way more embarrassing, but nobody sees it that way. And, you know, like for instance, you know, those school folks that, you know, like Officer Tatum and Charlie Kirk, they go up to the universities and they talk to the college students. And, you know, you got some college students who go up to the mic thinking they know they're going to try to take them down. And then they say the stupidest thing. It's like that, but you still have people who will agree with them online, and they'll still be like, oh, I'm right because all these other people agree with me, even though you're surrounded by folks who know better. You're talking to somebody that know better. You're asking the question, you want an answer, but you're not willing to take it. And you're willing to come up with your own thing. And then you embarrass yourself and people boo you. So it's like, you know, it's smart. It's a good thing to be okay with asking questions. Like, I don't know about this subject. Can you tell me about it? I've never heard of it. Like, I at one point didn't know what misogyny was, and I got laughed at for it. And they were like, well, how can you not know? Everybody knows that. I'm like, I don't. I didn't grow up with that word. I've never heard that term. What is that? Explain exactly what it is, because everybody kept using it, especially women. They kept saying men are misogynists. Okay, what is misogyny? So I looked it up and I found out what it meant. I'm like, oh, okay, you guys are using this term very loosely. Misogyny is simply having they use it loosely. Like, it's like you basically have a hatred or a prejudice for a woman. What is prejudice? Prejudice is having hatred for something or someone with no experience whatsoever, or no knowledge of it. Okay. So you're saying that men have a deep hatred and loathing for women with absolutely no experience with them. You can't call every man a misogynist then, because that's not the case. Some men just don't like some of the things women do because they experience them. So no, I like asking questions. And if I look dumb in front of everybody, fine. I don't care. As long as I actually get the real answer, and then I can be able to make a decision and kind of come to terms with it on my own. And I can actually see, okay, now it's starting to make a little sense. Now I can see the bull for what it is. And it's unfortunate.
People don't understand that anybody can make an Instagram account, anybody can make a Facebook account, anybody can make a TikTok account, and anybody can do it for free. Anybody can get on social media and say anything that they want to say. Literally. It costs no money. I don't want to give them no ideas. Please don't start making subscriptions. I'm sorry. But seriously, you know,
it's true though.
Anybody it's true. Whatever they want. So just because people agree with you doesn't make you not stupid. That's
right.
It
Oh,
doesn't make you not stupid. Like it really doesn't. You can still be stupid, and then all the other little stupid people are gonna agree with you. And honestly, the more stupid you are, the more people agree with you. So if a lot of people agree with you with everything that you say, I think you might be a little dumb.
Might be
because the world that we live in now, if everyone's following you, you're dumb.
A lot of times, yes, it is the fact. That's why I am not a huge fan of like trying to blow up my channel fast, because I know that would require me to do things that I'm not necessarily comfortable with to attract a population that I'm not necessarily interested in attracting. And like, what I was gonna say, we have to humble ourselves. Humble yourself so that you're not humiliated. That's what Andrew Womack. When we humble ourselves, you avoid the humiliation, because what end up happening when people be like, I have a situation that blow up online. Oh, I was so humbled. No, you were humiliated because you got caught. So you were humiliated. So you know what I mean? So having to stay humble, that's why. And now, that's why I appreciate Candace Owens, because she was very humble dealing with those young ladies. She was asking questions, trying to have a better understanding. I know in her mind, she was probably like, what a bunch of idiots, but she did her best to at least let the women explain themselves, where she would ask them, well, how do you explain to me? Fine. Where she want to know where their heads are. She's very good at wanting to understand other people. And I think that's very humble. Where she, you know, where she could be like, I know you. What you talking about, fool? You dumb. I ain't arguing with you. She could be.
And she could be
like
too.
Yeah.
She even brought up herself because when a girl was like, I don't like to, say find. She was like, well, what would you call it? Because that's what I was doing. I was out there trying to find a relationship. She got me cracking up.
She did.
But it's like, I don't know. I feel like, when you're not able to accept that people are trying to show you something or teach you something, you can be stuck for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it was a point in my life where me, not too much, we weren't really close. She got on my nerves a lot. But then I started doing what she do to me to other people. Because I was like, somebody I knew kept complaining about their job and this, that, and the other. And I was like, well, you better be grateful that you have a job, because if you didn't have a job, then you would never. I went full Auntie Margie on this. And it was like, well, I'm just saying how I feel. I'm like, well, you need tough love.
Amen.
I was like, would it really be love if I was just sitting there just allowing you to just say whatever you want to say about how blessed you are? I couldn't believe who I was.
Amen.
Wow.
Amen. The same. What you learn, and when you realize it's the truth. Even myself with my mother-in-law went in on me. Like I said, she raised us and our kids because we were so young. We were 18, 19 years old. We got married. We had children. So she was there full throttle, like directing us in every area. And I appreciate that it wasn't in an intrusive way. It was like safety, like looking out for the long term. Like, you know what I mean? Like seeing the end result. Like if you don't cut this right now, this is what you're facing. If you don't deal with this here in yourself right now, this is what the consequences you could have as a result. And like you said, it get on your nerves. At first, it get on your nerves until you mature and you realize, oh wait, okay, this is someone who loves me enough to put a word in me that is going to make me a better person. That's going to help me. That's going to better my future. Because a lot of, like I said, where's the parents at? Because a lot of parents ain't doing that. A lot of parents are not taking the time to invest and speak into their children. And a lot of folks think once you turn 18, you grow. So I'm done. Parenting is over. Yeah. But once you get that age, you need guidance even more so.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Even more.
Yeah. Yeah, because the training wheels come off.
Yeah, like, the Lord blessed me with 2 moms because I needed guidance in a lot of different ways. He gave me about 2 moms, a bunch of aunties. He knew I needed some help.
Amen.
So.
Yes, because it's like, and it is a big thing in the Black community too. It's like as soon as you're 18, all right, get up out my house, or you just on your own. You don't have to figure it out. Thing is, it's like we grew up with training wheels. So we. Especially for me, I grew up in a 2-parent household. So it's like, there's so much that they just did not allow me to do, but they couldn't necessarily explain why, because I wasn't old enough to understand. Sure. Then I turned 18 years old. They said, okay, we're going to cut you off. All right. You got this. You're an adult. And I'm making mistakes left and right. Like I'm all over the place. I'm like, what am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing. It's like, my parents are not giving me the advice that I need as an adult. Yeah. Because it's like, you've experienced the things I'm experiencing right now. Why aren't you telling me this? And it's like, oh, you got to figure it out for yourself. Why should I? I shouldn't have to. At least give me the option to take your advice, or to just go ahead and do it anyway and figure it out for myself. But at least give me a chance. Yeah. Because there's things, if I would have known at the time, I wouldn't have engaged in it. But I think that as an adult, when you turn 18, you're still technically like a child, because you're in the world as an adult now. The world sees you as an adult. So people can get over on you, all kinds of stuff, because you're young, and people can get you in all kinds of situations. And then social media also can get you into trouble too. So it's like, you still kind of figuring it all out as an adult, as a new adult, and trying to figure out, okay, well, how am I supposed to work this thing here? How am I supposed to work this world thing? How am I supposed to move as a person? The only people that can give you that advice is your parents, which is why they say parenting is a lifelong thing. Like, it's forever. It's like, no matter how hard you try, you are always still going to be parent. And see, my mother still gives me advice now because I'm 30. I just turned 30 in May. So
nice. Okay. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy
Thank
birthday.
you. Yes.
Yeah, you and her.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. I'm a Taurus all day. Yes.
Hey.
The child of God first.
Yes, child of God all day.
Oh, I forgot to read this. Waterman said, Marjorie said she's determined to get this message out. Yes, honey. I'm like, I had to get that out because what the world was going on with that?
But you know what? I don't understand what I was going to say before I almost cut you off. So sorry. But it just came to me. But I'm like, okay, like how you said, you don't explain things to children, right? But then you don't explain things to adults. So when do you explain these things? My whole thing is, a kid is the person that needs to be explained to the most. I cannot see myself being a parent and being like, you're a child, I'm not going to explain that to you. Or, you don't need to know, whatever. They need to know the most. Like, they need to know exactly what it is and what it isn't. So they understand. Like, I want to raise an emotionally intelligent child. Where if I say no, why? It's not that they're being disrespectful. They want to know why. They want to understand. They're kids. They don't know anything. But it's like, if you don't explain things to kids, and then once they become grown, you're still like, I'm not explaining that to you. You need to go figure it out. You need to learn what it is. It's like, you just kind of seem like a life where you're always on your own. You're always trying to understand things. And then that's when you become influenced by random people, strangers on the internet. Because if all my family was to let me go after I turned 18, I would have been of the world too. I would have been confused looking on social media for new mommies and new daddies that are going to teach me to go sell my body, sell my feet, sell my hair, sell my everything. Like, go sell your leg. Like, it's ridiculous. So it's like, a lot of these people are being taught by people on the internet. Where anyone can make an account and teach your kid anything because you don't want to take 2 seconds to have a conversation with your kid about it.
You ain't lying. So most folks are missing someone being honest with them, even though honesty can seem like hatred. Y'all remember how we're like, that's my just does not feel like love. Like, but how you know what love feel like? You don't know what love feel like because so many of us are so used to people lying to us, making us feel good, telling us to BS, even our parents. Where we get trained up in Santa Claus and the nonsense of that nature, and then so because to make us feel good and feel comfortable, and unfortunately it's just sad. But what I was going to say as a parent, one thing I did learn. So when we parent the way God parents us. When God tells us to do something, He don't necessarily tell us why He's telling us to do that thing right away. You can pray and ask, Lord, why are you telling me to do this? He ain't gonna answer you right away. Yeah. Because the object is to trust. And unfortunately, you can't trust all your parents now. Unfortunately, you can't trust your parents all the time. But that's the way God parents. God parents us. He give you an instruction, you obey. And you find out why later. Because with small children, you can tell them, you can try to explain to them, don't touch the stove, you're going to get burnt. That doesn't have the same effect as if they go to reach and you pop them. Or they go and touch it and find out it's hot. Either way, they're going to learn with pain. Either way, you're going to learn with some kind of pain. So even though, like Shay, you were saying, even though your parents didn't tell you, that wasn't necessarily a wrong style of parenting. That was just how they decided to parent. They decided to let you touch the stove and learn on your own. And I don't think that's necessarily wrong. I think that's just how they decided to do their thing. Because either way, you still learned. Because I could tell, I told my children, I told them this and told them that, and they still go get burned anyway. I could tell them why. Tell them this is why. Don't do this because this is why. You don't want to experience this because this is going to happen. They still want to touch the stove for themselves. And that's okay. That's just that's parenting. That's when you deal with even adult children, you deal with kids. You're going to have some kids that want to learn their own pain, and you're going to have some kids that are going to learn from your pain. That's going to say, okay, my mom said don't do this because this is what, and I don't want to have to experience that. Some people, no matter what you tell them, how many whys you give them, they still going to be like, well, I want to find out for myself. They got to taste the forbidden fruit for themselves.
Yes.
Everybody wants to learn. Everybody learns differently. Me personally, it was like I had to learn some things getting burnt, and some things when the Lord showed me and told me, okay, oh Lord, I don't want to have to experience that, so let me avoid that. So everybody's different, and I don't think one style of parenting is worse than the other. I think your style of parenting is your style of parenting. Either way, kids gonna learn.
Yeah, because I feel there were some things that I learned by seeing it, some things that I learned by it being explained to me, and some things that I just did and saw for myself.
Yeah.
Now, luckily, thank the Lord, a lot of the super bad things I saw other people doing, and I was like, I'm not doing that. No. So I had my little, I dipped my toes in the water. Yeah. But for the most part, when the water was looking a little bit too hot, my feet never touched it. Okay, for the most part.
Yeah.
So there's some things, but it's different ways of learning. Like, and it's different things. There's extreme things. Like, for instance, what the risk of how we were talking. Me and best friend, she was on here. How we were talking about how we never saw it work when people moved in with their boyfriends. Me and her never did that. Because we already saw it. We saw it look nasty. We the water was too hot. We didn't want to try that. We didn't want to test it. But there's just certain things that, you see it, I know some things that you have to actually physically feel. But still, I feel like as far as explaining, there are some things that, should be explained and what it means, just so that they have an understanding. Because at the same time, like, even though, it's like a risk thing. Because, like, even though we didn't do it or whatever, as a parent, knowing that you told us, you know what I mean? Like, for you, for instance, with teen pregnancy and stuff, knowing that you told us, it's like your job is not necessarily done, but it is in a way, because you told us what it was. But as soon as we popped out onto you, was like, don't get pregnant young, don't do young, don't do this. So like, if one of us used to do it, it's like, well, I already told you that. Like, your whole entire life, I told you that. So it's like, all you could do is kind of laugh a little bit. Like, you can't really do nothing else after that, because we were warned. And that's, like I said, that's when the water was too hot. None of us tested the 15-year-old baby. It was too hot.
Yeah.
So it just depends. It's different.
Yes, honey. But, all you can do, that's just life. Learn, as long as you learn from the lessons, whether you learn from what somebody else teaches you. It said a brilliant man learns from others' mistakes. Wise man learns from his own mistakes. So you decide if you want to be wise or brilliant, and either way you learn. As long as you learn and you do better and you grow and mature, really all you can really say. Because I still feel like, even with everything my mother-in-law taught me about raising children, there was still a lot of stuff I didn't do correctly.
Yeah.
Because as far as parenting, especially with dealing with a boy, but by the grace of the Lord, not because of my good parenting at all, but by the grace of the good Lord, my son is alive, and he's, he just graduated, and my daughters are amazing, and they're doing awesome, and by the grace of the Lord. And it ain't for parents to be perfect, because at the end of the day, God gonna get the glory. And I know and believe. I say over and over again, in spite of all of my bad parenting, the best decision I made as a parent was having my children in the Word, making sure my children know the Lord for themselves. That was the best decision I made, regardless of all the other mistakes, all the other bad decisions, and the neglect, and the whatever else I failed to do. I made sure to have my children in the Word. That's the best decision, best parenting, because spiritual neglect, I think, is the most critical. Because even if a child is missing mom and dad and all these things, if they got a relationship with the Lord, they got a chance. Regardless of how screwed up mommy and daddy is, because mommy and daddy gonna be screwed up. I don't care how perfect mommy and daddy is, they gonna have issues.
Yeah, and it's like when you're young and you learn that stuff, like, even if you don't understand it as a kid, because when I was growing up out there, like, even the things that I might not have understood for sure, like 100%, or even followed me. Because even if you don't hear it, your spirit hears it. Yeah. So like, my spirit heard it as a kid, and then as I got older, it was like my spirit remembered it, and it just went to my brain, and I was able to understand what it meant. So now I can talk to my grandma. I talked to her the other day. Now I can talk to her and be like, I get it.
She had us cry.
What she say? Because my spirit remembers her.
Yes.
Yeah, the same. I feel that because I know my mom raised all of us, all of my siblings in the church. So it was like church every day, Bible study, and I was always read scripture and trying to understand it. And I say that, when I did turn 18 and I had the option, the choice to whether to continue to go to church or, I did stop going to church. I was like, I could do it on my own. And that fell through. But I did go through a lot of different stuff in my early 20s, made a whole lot of mistakes, but I did remember Christ and I came back to Christ. And remembering everything that I had been taught as a kid, now that it's come back and I'm like, okay, now I understand. Now I get it. Now I understand why I was so lost and why I went through everything I went through, because I wasn't following everything that I had been taught.
Right.
I wasn't following the word at one point. So when I came back to that, everything became clear. I've had clarity. Now I get it. Now I get some of the things my mother was telling me. Now I get some of the things my grandmother was telling me. And it's like, okay, God, I got you. Okay, I got you now. I get you.
Amen.
So now I can actually push through, and I have hope now. I have more hope, more faith, knowing that I can get things that, I've always wanted and get the things that I absolutely need too. So I get that. Absolutely. It's like as a kid, you just think, why is mama always here?
Right.
Yeah.
You get it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you are going to ask why. It's nothing wrong with asking why. It's just sometimes you're not going to get your why and find out your why until you get grown, where you really get to look back. What they say, hindsight is 20/20. I never understood what that meant. What that hindsight is 20/20. I'm like, what does that mean? And what that means is when you look back, you can see things clearly. When you look back in your past and you look back and say, oh, this is why mom taught me this is why grandma taught me this is why I wasn't allowed to do this and that, this is why, then it makes sense, where in the moment you don't understand, but you're like, why is this like this right now? Like my kids never understood why they wasn't really allowed to spend the night nowhere. Now they grown and they've done it, because I'm like, at least be older, do that, and now they can do it, and they be like, oh, I see why you didn't have us do it. They get to see. Yes. So yes, hindsight is 20/20. And I just want to encourage parents I had to take time. I had to consciously take time to be affectionate with my children. Like I literally would have to pause and be like, oh wait, I didn't hug my kids today. I didn't hug and kiss them today. I would have to, I had to be conscious, intentional about it. It didn't come naturally for me to be.
It's crazy you say that. Because see, I didn't grow up with an affectionate mother. So I didn't get the hugs and kisses. My mother's way of showing us love was by telling us what not to do or how to do something. And it's crazy because even my older sister on my father's side, my dad had a daughter before he met my mother.
Okay.
So even my older sister went through the same thing with her mom and her stepdad. It was not real affection. So we kind of grew up in a way masculine. So we got read our rights in a sense. We didn't get hugs and kisses, but we understood why it's important to have that. Because the world is cold. And I think I mentioned this on your show before. I don't know if I did, but there's a reason why women and men have their roles when it comes down to their relationship and their families. You need the comfort from your mother so you can understand that life can be comfortable. But you do need the discipline from your father so that you understand that life is tough and you need to figure out how you're going to move.
Ooh.
So it's like you're missing, affection and things like that, especially from your mom. It can mess up your balance and how you deal with life in general. There's a reason why we need two people in the home. It's why you can't have one or the other. You can't have discipline without comfort, and you can't have too much comfort.
Amen.
It'll become a problem.
Amen. It's deep. It's so true. I know for me too, my mother wasn't that affectionate. I mean, every once in a while she would give hugs and stuff every once in a while, but I had to become, when I got married, my husband's very affectionate. Him and his mother are very affectionate. So I had to become affectionate. I was not affectionate at all. My mother is not an affectionate person, but I had to learn to become affectionate. So if you're not an affectionate person, 9 times out of 10, you're probably gonna marry somebody completely opposite of yourself. So
yeah, it's fair.
Yeah, grandma's affectionate for sure. I remember all that.
Yeah, my mother-in-law is very affectionate. She was very affectionate with her grandchildren.
But she's both though. What's so funny?
Yes.
She's both by herself.
Yeah, she's business.
She'll go from being all kissing and hugging and all that and smack your ass.
Yes,
she's both.
For sure.
She's both, like perfect both.
Absolutely, that's that perfectly said.
She not get her confused now. Let's not get her confused.
But that is absolute facts. And I had to learn that having to find that balance of being affectionate and being firm. And I still don't feel like I've mastered that in its entirety. That's still like, that is a God-given gift. Oh yeah. Because it's like, for me, it was either I'm all the way hard or I'm too soft. So like, Lord, help me, give me balance. But yes, my mother-in-law is absolutely a master at that balance, knowing when to be gentle, when to be soft, and when to be hard. And that's most parents do not have that wisdom. That's wisdom from the Lord. That's wisdom from the Lord. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes. Because that's a skill. Like I said, I'm still learning, haven't quite mastered. Probably I'll get it when I have grandbabies. Probably I'll get it when I have grandchildren, Lord willing. Lord bless if I get blessed to see the day. Yes, being loving and affectionate, having your children in the word, most importante. Do that. But I'm gonna let you guys give your closing thoughts, and then I'm gonna let y'all get up out of here.
Well, mine is just that was fun. I enjoyed myself. It was a great topic, and I see why I was cutting out the whole time. But it was very fun. Because my Wi-Fi don't do that to me no more. I stopped playing. I'm like, remember when mine kept cutting out all stupid? So it happens sometimes. But yeah, that was very fun. I'm happy that I got to be a part of it.
Yes.
Yes, this was absolutely amazing. I love it. I had a great conversation. I definitely learned a thing or two here. Absolutely. So this was good. This is a heavy topic, and it's a good topic to have. Something that people need to talk about more, because you have absentee parents that are outside the home, but the fact that you have absentee parents in the home too is a biggie. It's something that's not talked about often, and I think it's good that we were able to have this conversation. It was great.
For sure. Oh yeah. Because you could be present and be far away from your children. I've seen it, I've done it, where it's like as you get it, parents get caught in a routine, going to work, making dinner, going to bed, and not really taking the time to find out what the children are doing, how they're feeling, where they are, if they can read, if they know math, if they, taking that time. I mean, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of stress, but that's the cost of having a family. And taking that sacrifice for the betterment of your children's future, so you don't got little girls like on this Fresh and Fit talking about how they separate themselves from their profession as strippers. And come on now, it's like, it's sad. What a man's last thoughts. He says, once you reach a certain age, we have to stop blaming mommy and daddy and find Jesus. Amen, brother.
Yes. Amen.
There's people with worse. Everybody, there's like, you could think that you have the world's worst parent, whatever. I was one of them. Oh, my mom's so bad. But when you see how some of these other parents be doing these kids, this mama locked her babies in a house for 5 years.
I saw that.
By themselves. My mama was a lot of things. My mama did a lot of things. My mama said a lot of things. But she ain't never did me like that. So,
put things in perspective.
Never did me like that.
And that's cool.
You win.
Wow.
So that's why people, when they be blaming mommy and daddy, it's like, there's people that have worse parents than you. Like, there's people that really, everybody got crazy parents.
Everybody
got a parent that didn't do something. Everybody got a parent that was either absent or did something, didn't do something. Everyone has a parent like that,
or they was too perfect and it still screwed you up.
Yeah,
I've seen that too.
People, you can make an
I've seen it too. It's incredible. It's like
they're super
I
rich
think
and
it's
always enough time with you, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
it's all of your choices. Can't blame your parents forever. Because yes, there are some people who grew up with excellent parents and still fall into the worst of the worst. And I just be like, what? Yes. How's that possible?
How?
You know, so it's true. It's choices too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, don't forget tomorrow I am doing back to the GOD challenge. If you haven't signed up for that, sign up for that. I'll put the link in the description after the live so everybody can get signed up for that. Just doing Bible study, prayer. We're going to be doing that. I'm going to be doing this tomorrow, 12 p.m. Mountain Standard, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central. Yeah, Central where Harry is. Pacific is where Shay is. So it'll be 11 o'clock Shay's time if y'all decide to pop up and join the live. Yeah, we're going to do deep dive into scripture, prayer, just drawing closer to Jesus, getting to know him more on a more personal level. If that's something that y'all are interested in, you ladies are absolutely welcome to join. And y'all's input is always appreciated.
You just put your email, because I think I hit the link, but I think I put my email in there. So am I just signed up for it or no?
So check your spam.
Okay.
Check your spam. It should send you a confirmation email to your spam folder. I don't know. It goes straight to spam. You have to mark that as not a spam, I guess, for it to start coming to your main inbox.
Okay. I put my email in there, but I don't know if that's the only thing you had to do. So I'll check my spam to see if I got anything.
Yeah, after you send the sign up for your email, you should get a response that says, now check your email for a confirmation. It'll send you a confirmation email.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I got it, and if I don't, I'm gonna just sign up again.
Yeah, that's fine. And then check your spam, and once you get signed up, I'll get the notification that you're part, that you'll get the emails and stuff. Because after so these next 2 Mondays, tomorrow and next Monday, I'm doing the challenge, and then after that, the following Wednesday, I start my Married with Purpose courses.
That's on your school thing?
No, I'm gonna be doing everything on YouTube.
Oh,
yeah, I'm gonna be doing everything on YouTube.
Because I gotta check your if you post anything on this.
The school, I got rid of the school.
Oh, it's over?
For now.
Oh.
For now. Till I start charging for it. So right now I'm just building the community, and then when I go back to the school community, I'll
okay, business lady. Don't let me give away all your stuff. Okay.
Right now I'm just giving away the Lord. Right now the Lord is free. His word is free. That's free.
See, that's how you get that bag. All OnlyFans people watching, this is how you get the bag. This is how you get the real bag, sis. Get that bag.
The holy bag is where it's holy, where it's not, where I don't have to be looking over my shoulder, worried about, when they coming for me type stuff.
Make them Jesus dollars. Go ahead.
That's it. I'm dependent on nobody but the Lord. So that's what He's telling me to do. So I'm being obedient. I'm coming out of my selfish phase, Jesus. Coming out of my selfish phase, because I really don't want to do that stuff. Really, I'm coming out. Help y'all, pray for me. Pray for me. Having to be here. Yes, I'm coming out. Where the Lord is working me, and I'm doing more for others, to be a blessing to others, than to just be here in my quiet space, minding my business. Which really what I want to do.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. So I probably should join you.
Yeah, I'll be there.
I've been in a quiet space. I realized the other day, like, if I want to, get married one day, I'm going to have to leave the house to, like, actually meet him. Right. And it's like, wait. Because, I just have this idea. He just go knock on the door and be like, I've been waiting for you. I'm just like, okay. But I realized I actually have to go outside. Like, I don't know.
Yep, you got to go to events. You got to actually go out there and meet people. It's hard work, I know. It's gonna be okay.
I mean, and it's no rush. If it's not something you're ready for right now, then don't worry about it. But when it's time, be obedient.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be obedient. I'm putting the link in the comments so you guys can check out the website, go in, sign up for the challenge, and then just to get signed up to get notified when courses start, any updates when my book comes out and all that stuff, you'll get updates.
Okay.
Newsletters and all the things. So, well, I appreciate you ladies for coming through and having such a fire discussion.
Thanks for having me.
Oh
Thank
yes.
you for having me. Absolutely.
Of course. It was so good to hear from Shay this week. She called just to say what's up, and I love that. I appreciate that. So glad you was able to come through this Sunday. And well, I love you ladies. I love you ladies. And then like I said, I'll be live. I'll be going live pretty much Monday. I'll be going live Tuesday night and then Friday night. And then next week I'll be going live almost every day.
And the next Wifery Garden is 2 weeks. Not next week, but the week after.
Not next week, but the week after. So that would be June 8th.
Dang, it's already June. About to be June.
Yes, this year is going by real fast.
Hey.
June
real
8th.
Fast.
Yep, set your calendars for June 8th for the next Wifery Garden. And join me. And yeah, we just gonna be communing with the Lord tomorrow. We're just gonna be praying, reading scripture, getting closer to God. Let God speak. Let him speak to us. And that's what I'm gonna be doing. So well, praying for everybody. Pray every day, all day. Thank you guys. What a man. Julie came through this evening. Rajay was in here earlier. I know she'd be passing out because it'd be late. It's late on the East Coast. But thank you guys for coming through. And I love you guys. And Trenton coming through. And Tia, we know they doing stuff too. So we hopefully, Lord willing, we get to catch her at the next one. And Shay, hopefully you get to catch us at the next Wifery Garden and be a regular. We won't hate that.
All right, I got you.
So set your calendar. I do this every 2 weeks because everybody got lives and jobs and such. So, and you already doing the YouTube thing. So try to give folks a break. So Lord willing, catch you at the next one. We'd love to have you on.
Absolutely. Okay. I hope I can get on there. Hopefully.
Okay.
I would love that.
Yeah. Let me know and I'll be happy to send you the link so you can be on here with us.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you guys.
All right,
so
ladies.
Much. Love you guys.
Welcome. I love you guys. Deuces, everybody.
Bye.
Pray every day, all day. I love you guys.